So next we have a concept of types of identity theft. Okay, so identity theft is, as we already know, it is a serious crime. So that we have a devastating effects on the individuals or the businesses. Okay, so what this document explores the various types of identity theft, which includes an financial one, criminal, identity cloning, business, medical, synthetic, and the child identity theft. By understanding these categories, which is crucial for recognizing the risks and implementing the effective prevention strategies, we'll start by looking at what are the different types of identity thefts we have in detail. Okay, so this will give you a clear picture about what I told you about what are the different types of an identity theft. So here we'll see one by one. So now we're talking about the financial identity theft. So financial identity means they are thefting your finance, like your money from the bank account or the credit card. Through a credit card they are using it, or they are what I can say, they're ruining your credit card scores, right? So what exactly it is? Financial identity theft occurs when someone uses another person's personal information such as social security numbers, or it can be a bank details, to commit the fraud. So this may include opening the credit accounts. So maybe they are you opening up of the credit accounts by making by using all your social security numbers, email, password, everything. So making unauthorized purchases and draining your bank account. So victim often face significant financial losses and damage to their credit scores. Once the information is getting mailed or getting messaged to the victim, once he comes to know that something is happening to my bank account, so then only he can able to identify that okay, something is happening. Okay, so the process of recovering from this will be very expensive. Maybe he will not get the money from it, or he can avoid it in future. Okay, so one thing is expensive, and it's a time consuming, and it is affecting, as I already told you. So it's a time consuming, and it affects your psychological impact, right? As a, so what is the keynote here is, as a technology moves along and the fraudsters become more advanced and poses a great threat to the individuals. So this will clearly give you a picturization about when you are writing about the financial identity theft, what are the things that you need to write it on. So first, in the fraudulent activity means creating of the credit card accounts, financial losses, so they are purchasing through your credit cards, they are damaging your credit scores. So by doing all these things, recovery process is very hectic. So by doing this, what are the steps that you need to follow for the recovery? The recovering is expensive, and another thing what you can say, it's a time consuming, and one more thing is it affects your psychology of the brain. Okay, so next you have a criminal identity theft. So what do you mean by criminal identity theft? So an individual assumes that another person identity to commit the crimes. So everything is like one person pretending that the other person and doing the crime. So that is nothing but identity theft. So here criminal work he is doing. So that's why it is a criminal. He is performing some crime. So that's why it is a criminal identity theft. So what are the crimes that he can do? So maybe he will enter into the new country saying and get some special permits, hide the own identities, or commit of a terrorism criminal act. Whether so criminal identity theft, you can best example is a terrorisms, right? So what are the activities they can? Computer and the cyber crime, organized crime, drug trafficking, and money laundering. So it will give you a picturization about this, the dark web of the criminal identity theft and its impacts. For example, it's a computer and cyber crime, so which uses a technology to commit the crimes, including hacking and the data breaches, stealing up of the data from your system, not from user, from other system, pretending that the, suppose X is getting the thing, pretending that the person is A. Okay, so next you have an organized crime means, so you have a structured groups engaging in illegal activities often across the borders. So by making use of your SSNs like Aadhaar card, whatever the information, the nationality informations, that he can spoof that, pretending that he is that person, but he actually is not. So next you have a drug trafficking, there is an illegal trade of substances often involving the complex supply chains. Same thing. So using your personal identity is doing all those things. Next you have a money laundering. So the process of making illegally obtaining the money that is with a crime. So criminal identity theft, doing the illegal activities. Okay. Next one, identity cloning is pretty much interesting. So what here the criminal does is, or the hacker does is, this is one of the scariest variations of all other ID theft. What he'll do is he'll come to know about all the information about you. If suppose you are a victim, he'll come to know about what is your name, where you are working, what is your mother name, what is your father name, in which streets you are living in, what is your hobbies, where you studied, who is your girlfriend or who is your boyfriend. Okay, everything he will come to know, and which state, which city, everything about you from top to bottom he comes to know, and he use all those information in his life, and he'll stay some other places. So that is the meaning of an identity cloning. Okay, he will ID close the compromise a victim's life by actually living and working as a victim. ID clones may even paying the bills regularly, get engaged and married to start a family. As of new life, he will be doing it in your name. Okay, so this will give you an overview about the factors which contributes to the identity cloning. One is the location, personal information, life partners, and the family details. So that is about the identity cloning. Next, you have a business identity theft. Business identity theft. You consider you have an office in Jayanagar, fifth block. You have purchased one store over there. So what the victim will do is he'll also come with the another floor. Whatever the information is there for your company, same information he will be doing it. Okay, so that's fine. The fraudster rents a space in the same building as a victim's office. Then he will apply for the corporate credit cards using the victim's firm name. So the application passes the credit check because the company name address match, but the cards are delivered to the fraudster email box. He'll sell them on the street and vanishes before the victim discovered firm's create is the correct one. So hence it is extremely important to protect the business sensitive information to avoid any further scams. So this BSI, like business security identity theft, is the information about the business or an organization privileged in nature and or proprietary information which, if it is compromised through an alteration, corruption, loss of misuse, or unauthorized disclosures, could cause serious damage to the organization. Such information is like with the core sensitive asset for the organization. So this will give you the fraudulent application, credit card approval, card will get delivered to him, not to the original one. So before it come to the attention of the victim, so he'll sell the cards and he will get disappeared. Next one, medical identity theft. So what happens is medical identity thefts when someone uses another person information to obtain the medical services or the prescriptions, which can lead to the incorrect medical records, billing issues, and complications in receiving care. Victims may face the challenges in correcting their medical history and dealing with the insurance claims. One example which I can give you is India is known to have become the famous for the medical tourism. So thousands of tourists will visit to the India. One is to Rome, another one is for the medical health checkup. Why? Because India is the only place where offers the service of low cost when compared to the other countries. Okay. So in the process, medical records of the foreigners as well as the local who avail the medical facilities get created. So this has created a boom for the cyber criminals healthcare facility. So very different compared to how they were used to decade back. There are opportunities for a protected health information changing hands when multiple agencies are connected over the computer networks and the internet. For example, medical representative, medical insurance organizations, hospitals, etc. So according to the survey of 2008 identifying the center service for some of the reasons why medical ID test is particularly damaging the victims, which include one third of the victims of a medical ID theft surveyed at someone else medical information or a medical history on their medical record, increasing the possibility of increasing the possibility of the patients being treated incorrectly because the incorrect medical records. For example, one patient record has been stolen. Okay, so actually that person is uh, that person information got stolen and other person has used it. uh, when when something happened to him, then he admitted to the hospital. What the hospital people will do, they will check in their database whether the person is already admitted to us or not. If it is already admitted, then he will look for the history. So what he is of, what can be resistible for him, what is not. If suppose the person is unconscious, you think like that. So then what they will do, to whom they will ask, which is what is his health condition or what and all things. Who will tell all those things? So what the medical people will do, they'll check their database. If the person name is there, so they will come to know that okay, this is the person who is having this problem, and is okay with this medicine, is not okay with that medicine. All those information. If suppose if anything goes wrong, because that medical report will be the criminals one, where he is pretending that the person has A, but the treated person was X. Okay, so what how the medical persons will come to know that? So in that way, so they have incorrectly, because of the incorrected medical records, they fail to treat the person properly. More than 10% of the victims of medical ID survey were denied health or life insurance, and explain the reasons. More than two-thirds of the victim survey receives a bill for medical services that were provided to an imposter. So this will give you a clear picturization about incorrect medical records, history, risk of incorrect treatment. As I already told you, incorrect medical records, because the information about the person was stolen and some person was got admitted, and based on his health the medical history was written. So when the actual person came into a treatment, then there will be a risk, because the people will look for the database, right? So that is one of the thing. So next you have a synthetic identity theft. Synthetic identity theft is nothing but, I already told you, identity theft can be done by collecting the information of a one individual. Another thing is he gain the information about two or more persons collected together and forming one identity. So that is nothing but your synthetic identity theft. So it is saying is an advanced form of an ID test. In this ID theft world, the fraudster will take the parts of the person information from the any victims and combine them. The new identity is not any specific person. So this is one of the main important thing that you have to write it in an examination. That is, synthetic identity theft means the new identity is created not with respect to one specific person. It is a combined information about two or more victims. Okay, so this will give you the picture of the identity theft and the fraud. So next we have a child identity theft. Child identity theft is nothing but, here the criminals are the parents only. Why? Because they are making use of their children's information in order to open any accounts, to take the loans, all those things. Because of their own credit history is insufficient, or to manage two accounts and all, so they make use of the child identity theft. So these are all the types of the identity theft. Hope you understood. All are theory only, but I'm uh, unable to make it easy. But somewhat I have tried it by making use of a visual representation of the concept. So hope it will help you guys. Thank you. We'll see the techniques of identity theft in the next video.